resource management. If you can manage people in a company about recruiting and retiring, sending an employee off from the company, hiring a employee or firing an employee, all this process will be done under an HRM. So a human resource manager should be able to know how to recruit a guy in a company. He should be able to know how to maintain the relationship between these employees inside the company. Keeping these employees with the company is one of the essential part of HRM. Let's start how HRM goes ahead. HRM means employing people, developing their resource, utilizing, maintaining, and compensating their services in tune with the job and organizational requirements with a view to contribute to the goals of the organization, individual, and the society. So they hire an employee, they keep the employee with them, they provide what the employee want, and also they maintain a good relationship and also ensure that the organization gets the maximum out of that employee. So that's what we say HRM. It's about managing the people, giving the people what they want inside the organizational structure based on the organizational requirements. So here you might see here the importance of like what are things happens in a HRM. Let me zoom a bit to have a clear view on what you are learning. Productive recruitment, welfare management, employee training, streamlining the onboarding process, conflict resolving within a system. So what does it mean? Normally, HR manager's work is he is recruited. I mean, that person HR manager is recruited to recruit many people. So productive recruitment. So you bring people who can generate good amount of value to the organization. Welfare management, giving the employees correct amount of resources is also part of HRM. Employee training, ensuring that all the employees are trained in a particular manner to do their works properly. Streamlining the onboarding process, ensuring that the process is going through, they are carrying out through a proper process and they're learning the entire process in a proper manner. Conflict resolving within a system. So when there's any problem between the employee, an HR manager should always sort it out. So this is the only management which has the life factor, which is dealing with people. In operations management, marketing management, finance management, ICT and business plan, you will never speak about humans. You will speak about humans only in HRM. Then on the objectives of HRM, there are main targets: formulating efficient strategies, creating an efficient hierarchy, finding the right recruits, training and development, evaluation of progress, appraisal, establishing a fair compensation and benefit structure, ensuring quality communication, managing diversity, maintaining ethical policies. So these HRM managers are the people who bring different strategies to keep the employees, recruit the right number of people, provide training and development, evaluating that they have progressed or not, salary appraisal, how much salary should be increased, also decided by this type of employee. So these people also see that how much a person should get salary, how much how much a person is actually should be paid. Everything will be addressed by this type of HRM managers. And then we have managing diversity, maintaining ethical policies. So they know what ethical policies should be carried out inside the organization and what is important to the organization, which will be always carried by these HRM managers. You might see here in HRM managers, the first HRM functions, like what are they actually do in a company? They plan, they manage the staffs, they develop the employees' knowledge, they motivate the people, they manage the change, they transfer from one particular department to another particular department, they maintain good relationship, they evaluate that their performance is better, and then their performance is better, they will provide good salaries for them. Then we have job design. So under job design, so let me explain you what's job design. So let's go one by one deeper, guys. Let me make it. So job design has 4 things you need to know in your syllabus: job simplification, job rotation, job enrichment, and job enlargement. So for your knowledge, what is a job design first of all? So let's discuss what's a job design. Job design involves a systematic, let me zoom out a bit. So your job design involves a systematic attempt to organize tasks, duties, and responsibility in a unit to achieve certain objectives. The process defining how work will be performed and what task will be carried required in a given job. Job design means the way that decision makers choose to organize work, responsibility, activities, and tasks. So when you see that how a work should be carried in an organization, that is done by a job design. So job design is focusing of how you can carry out the work inside the corporate environment. What are the ways you need to follow and what are the duties you need to carry in order to achieve your target is discussed by job design. And they're saying that under job design, there are a few things you need to know. What are the things you need to know? Job simplification, job rotation, job enrichment, and job enlargement. But there's something else I want to speak about before we move on to job description. Give me a second. So I have explained you guys how job design has been actually made and how a job design actually works. So I have given you a complete understanding how the job design works. So now in job design, there are four categories you need to know. One, we said a job simplification, job rotation, job enrichment, job enlargement. Let me make it simple as possible. Job simplification means if you are giving the work, you are simplifying the working procedure, we said a job simplification. Job rotation is where you've been sent from one department to another department, transferred from different areas to learn the work. It's job rotation. Job enrichment is where we say like you are in the same position, but your work load is increasing. You might feel motivated because they are teaching you a lot of things, but on the other side, you also will feel demotivated. They are not appraising your salary, but without increasing the salary, they are increasing the work. Job enlargement and job enrichment. There's a small slight difference between these two, job enlargement and job enrichment. So in job enlargement, give me a second, guys. And job enlargement look similar, but the way it is defined is different. Job enrichment means same number of works you are carrying, but the responsibility is high. Like if anything goes wrong, they will ask you why you didn't do this. What was the reason? So the responsibility, everything comes to you. And job enlargement is where you are doing the same work, but now you have a different work. If you are a receptionist in a company, you are a receptionist as well as a data recorder. That is job enlargement. You get another additional work. Job enrichment is like you are the receptionist, but when you miss a call, you should be responsible for the call. So you should be so focused on getting the client's call and speaking to them in a very polite manner. Then we have the next part to discuss. What do you have? Job analysis. So let me explain you how job analysis works. There's something wrong in the alignment. I guess so. So give me a second, guys. Let me fix this alignment. So what is a job analysis, guys? A job analysis is the procedure through which you determine the duties of this position and the characteristics of the people to hire for them. Job analysis produces information for writing job description and job specifications. So job analysis contain two parts, like what are the duties and responsibility an employee should carry out, explained in detail under job analysis, under job description, as well as job specification. So let's see how job analysis actually works. We move on to steps, guys, one by one. Here you might see a step they are given. Actually, design how we will use the information, review a relevant background information, select representative position, actually analyze the job, verify the job analysis information, develop a job description and job specification. So seeing a job in a company, finding out what type of tasks and duties an employee should carry out, explaining everything in task and duties in detail, preparing a particular pattern of duties and responsibility is a part of job analysis. So job analysis has two things as job description and job specification. So you might see here what is job description, a description of a job including a list of responsibilities and duties, qualification skills, you might see general tasks, special demands, salary, goals and objectives, candidate temperament, how much period he will work, responsibilities, employee information, job title, immediate boss. So all these things will be explained on a job description when you are taken into a company. You might see here the same thing I have written. Components of job description are job title, job location, role, responsibilities and duties, salary, incentives, allowances, everything will be mentioned. under job description. It's the description of the job, including the responsibilities and duties. Then what is job specification? A person, when he is recruited, he should be having certain qualification to become a recruited person to the company. So those basic qualification to become an employee in that company is known as job specification. So these are knowledge, experience, and the skills you have. A statement which tells us minimum acceptable human qualities which helps to perform a job. Employer specification or job specification is a written statement of education or qualification, specific qualities, levels of experience, physical, emotional, technical, and communication skills required to perform a job, responsibilities involved in a job, and other unusual sensory demands. It also includes general health, mental health, intelligence, aptitude, memory, judgment, leadership skills, emotional ability, adaptability, flexibility, values and ethics, manners and creativity. So basic behavior of a person, discipline to attitude, skills and knowledge, everything is explained under job specification. And they are also saying in a job analysis, these are the ways how they are analyzing job analysis. Job description will have job title. As I explained you the things what we'll have in job description, job location, job summary, reporting to working conditions, job duties, message to be used, and the wages. Job specification says that qualifications, experience, training, skills, responsibilities, emotional characteristics, and the sensory demand. The demand you might also ask can be written under job analysis. So steps of process of human resource planning. So when you plan to get an employee or when you plan about the organization, these are the things you need to know. Forecasting the future human resource requirements, assessing the human resources supply, compare the demand supply of human resources, developing the strategies to be implemented to recruit the human resource, prepare the human resource planning. To make the plan of human resource, you have full another steps of carrying out a plan. So you need to focus how many employees are needed, how many employees are there on the market, is the demand and the supplies meeting, is the data meeting at the as we expected, what are strategies we need to use to recruit good employees into our company, how can how do we create a plan. So have these five type of steps, it might be tested in your exam, so it's a part of human resource planning. Then we move on to the next part, evaluating the efforts. The last one of that is evaluating the efforts taken for human resource planning, which I have missed here. The last one is evaluating the efforts taken for human resource planning. So what is the number of efforts you need to put in order to make human resource planning much successful manner. Then we move on next part. What are the things which will affect the demand and supply of a HR? Human resource demand forecasting depends on several factors, some of which are given below. So they are given employment trends based on the market, how much people are ready to work, replacement needs. If the market is very competitive today, due to pandemic, many people are available in our country. Almost 1 lakh people, almost 10 lakhs people doesn't have a job opportunity out of 9 million population in our country. Almost 1 million is a huge amount. Some people can be studying and not applying for job, but still 1 million is a huge amount who doesn't have job opportunities in our country are looking for jobs. So at this time, replacement needs are going to be very high. Productivity, though there are a lot of people available, they should be able to increase the level of productivity. Absenteeism, you should not lose, you should not take employees who will be taking a lot of absence. And you see the market like the expansion and growth. Based on the market, you can recruit. Now today, if you are a chartered accountant, you are a CA qualified. Normally, earlier days, I like 2 years back, when you are a CA qualified and you have 5 years of experience, so basic salary in our country will be 120 to 150,000. This is the basic pay. But now it has fallen to, you won't believe, if you are chartered accountant and you have 5 years of experience, the basic salary is 50 to 75,000. It is less than a driver, three-wheel driver who is riding three-wheel today. But the market has the reason. Many people are educated, but they don't have a proper job on the market, so they are losing the potential. So many people are saying that if you go to abroad, you can be successful. For me, my country is better, but I think that going abroad is also a waste of time. Let's find some solutions which we can build in our country. So today, HR managers are ranking, or they don't give more than 75,000, even if you are chartered qualified, because the market. Then if you are A-level qualified, I don't think even if you will get 20,000 as a salary, because the market is going that worse class today. So then we move on next part, internal versus external recruitment. When you recruit internal, what is internal recruitment? You are recruiting the employees inside the organization for yourself. We said as internal recruitment. External recruitment, you go outside the company and recruit people to your company. We said as external recruitment. So what is an internal Actually, when you are recruiting employees inside the organization, we said as internal recruitment. External recruitment is like when you are hiring employees from outside the company, we said as external recruitment. So they are saying that internal recruitment is when the business looks to fill vacancy from within its existing workforce. So they have said, they've taken a good example here, and they're also saying that internal recruitment is very cheap, but could end up costlier if things don't work out. Sometimes you might take the employees inside the company itself, but they might not work as you expect. And also like employees will get like demotivated because everyone will try to a higher position, and when one doesn't get, they will feel like they are not, this guy is not suitable to become a manager, so they'll have classes. Business diversity, internal recruitment encourages a culture of loyalty, but it's also important to incorporate diversity. So they're saying that giving chances for employees is good, but also getting the work done is also one of the important things when you're giving the opportunity. Type of role, internal recruitment is to best for mid low level positions. Only 7% of business hire senior managers internally. So it's better if you can give a chance for a guy who was there for a long time, but it's always not successful because this guy is very traditional. He knows only the process of the company. And if you can recruit someone who is from outside, they can bring a lot of knowledge into the company. Employee motivation, internal recruitment improves morale as it shows employees that there are career opportunities within the organization. So employees will feel very happy because after one person moves, they will be the next person who will take down the place of the other employee. And then they're saying the length of time. Internal recruitment requires not no screening or reference checks, and there's less need of training. As this guy already knows about the process very well, you don't want to give a different training for him. As he's already know about the process, you can just directly take this guy, and based on his performance and past record, it's better. But the bad thing is this guy will not bring new knowledge to the company. There will be misunderstanding between the team members. There will be a fight for one position they'll be having, and some employees even might leave out of the company because they didn't get the position what they were expecting. So what is external recruitment, guys? It is a recruitment is when the business looks to fill the vacancy from any suitable applicant outside the business. External recruitment incorporates diversity and can make for business a more innovative and existing place to work. So it has a lot of ideas bringing into the company, and they will try to apply those ideas, can diffuse tension within a company and eliminates the risk of favoritism or negative politics within a business. So when one person has been promoted, a known one, rather than giving a chance for a known one, they can remove the internal politics happening in the company. So types of people says that external recruitment of a highly skilled specialist candidates who could be exclusively working with that recruiter, and it offers a level of experience, industry knowledge, and dedication which can lead to a great hire. So good hire can be a good thing, but bringing a bad hiring guy who is worse than the employee who was there, then of course it's going to be a disaster to the company, because hiring good employees is very hard for good companies. Then we have the next part. It can be lengthy as it takes time to source and screen external candidates. So teach them. It takes a lot of time for teaching them the process. Then what? How do we recruit? There's a process of recruitment, guys. Let me explain you how this process works. You might see first you need to recognize the vacancy for job. What type of job vacancies are there? And based on that, you will see how much employees are should be recruited. Studying the job specification, what are the duties and responsibilities to be advertised, identify employee factors relevant to attraction policies of the organization, cost, time, and other. What's the package they're gonna give? How much the organization is able to bear the cost, and finally, you prepare the application form. And after preparing the application form, you will be able to select the ways of recruitment, like which recruitment is better. Is it internal recruitment or external recruitment? And then finally, you find out a guy which is implementation, applying for vacancies by individuals and receipts of applications. And finally, once you have put the advertisement on the market, you can be able to evaluate and get a good CV out of the candidates which you have applied. And then we move on to the next part. Project, you might see here an advertisement which has been put, project engineer and civil structures. This is a job description and job specification. Qualification experience they are given. So qualification meaning graduate and BTech and proven experience in managing, proven experience in marketing. So they have very good experience in this particular thing. And they have not given about the duties and responsibility. They're just hiring. So they are only given the like project engineer and civil and structure is the job description, and job specification is this qualification and experience. So they have asked to contact this lady. So advertisement will consist certain things when you are when you're putting when you're recruiting employee, job information, location, pay grade, summary of the job, essential and desirable qualification, main accountabilities, interrelationships, competencies, contract clause, details on how to apply. But in this advertisement, we found that there's no salary informed. Their accountabilities for whom they should report has not been informed. They are only given they have given like certain things like a team to deliver results. So they are given on a just understanding basis, but they are not given gone deeper in giving the exact thing what the advertisement should have. Then we move on next part. Select steps in selection process. Well, how do you test an employee? Let's see. Number one, you do initial screening. Have a look, speak with him, or you have an overview about him, about his CV, about him. Then completion of the application form. After seeing him, his attire, you give him an application form to write it. Then employment tests, keeping some Excel test, keeping some visual basic tests to get him into the job. And then you have an interview speaking about what are the say about yourself. Some staffs you might say like when some people get into the company, some people might say, I am coming from this place, I am like this, I am like that. They don't ask about you. Whatever you in the CV, don't speak when you are getting a recruitment. When you are speaking, always try to speak what is not in the CV, because not in the CV, don't say about introduce yourself. You can't say that I don't want to introduce myself because Aslam has said that I don't. If the things are in the CV, we should not speak. It's not like that, guys. You should speak without what is not there in the CV, but you need to introduce yourself. My name is Aslam Khan. I am a chartered accountant. I have been working in corporate field for 6 years. I'm working for a job. And the reason I came for here because I found this position is much suitable for me, and through my analytical knowledge, I can be able to give something more for your organization. So they might ask, do you know the background of the organization? You should be able to know about the background when you go to a job interview. Then finally you come to a conditional job offer. They will say, this is the salary which we are going to give you. I satisfied. Maybe this might happen on second interview or third interview. Then finally they go with your background investigation. Have you got into crime? Any crime things or that? Or then they go with medical examination. Finally they go with like, are you drug addict or not? Are you drinking alcohol or not? Finally they will get into job offers, permanent job offer. Normally, big companies go through a big procedure. Small companies, they don't see all these things. They recruit you. So it's better always to go into a big company. So then we have, there's another way of selecting an employee, intelligent coding testing. This is what we say, IQ. We say it as IQ. The testing held aiming to measure the intelligent capacity of the candidate for a job is meant by this. Here, the ability of face challenges will be examined. The knowledge of the person on certain areas, can he able to answer those certain areas is explained under IQ part. Then we have the next part. No matter which of these method is used, there are few factors to be considered in selecting personnel. You need to see the knowledge, attitude, skills, and mental and physical fitness when you are recruiting a guy into the company. Then we have the next part. I thought something went wrong. Okay, then we are taking employees into two ways. One we said as part-time and also in a full-time way. You might see here in part-time way, an employee is recruited in a different manner. Actually, in part-time, they say there's limited liability, a limited availability. This guy, I'll zoom a bit. So this guy will not be always available. He will be going out of the company. Out of the once the time period is over, he will run out of the company because he wanted to go to his home. A part-time agent does not have enough time to devote to real estate in order. So this is a real estate market they are given. In order to know the market, knowing the market takes time and dedication. Ready to serve a full-time realtor lives real estate. They are ready to respond on a moment's notice and already know the answers to your questions. So they are always available. Full-time employees always will bring a lot of knowledge to the company, and they are the people who are going to keep the company always updated. And a part-time employee might also find it missed opportunities. A part-time employee might find a lot of opportunities he will miss because if customers come into the organization, they might not be able to have a handle because they might deal with this guy another day, another guy. So it's very hard for them to deal. Waiting to hear back from a part-time agent may take difference of getting an offer in on time or getting the answer to an important question. But professional network, a full-time realtor has a network or other professional and resource to make every transaction easier. So you can manage the customers in a very easy manner. To you follow their schedule, a part-time agent will need a buyer to adjust their schedule to show homes when they are not busy with their other obligations. So if you are a real estate agent, if you are going to show the house, he will be only available that time only you show. But a guy who is always there on the market, he will always available to help the guy who wanted to know about the houses. Well-built database realtors are connected to past clients, so they can pay up buyers and sellers by knowing what the people in their database may be looking for, what home may be coming up for sale. Potential missed deadlines. A real estate transaction runs on a schedule. A part-time agent may miss important deadlines because they simply are not available. Because they're working in different works, they might be not available when their employees, when the customers need you. But a superior experience. This guy doesn't miss deadline and always available, and his experience is superior. There's no measuring the amount of experience a full-time realtor gains by just being active. Years of experience from selling many homes benefit current clients. A full-time realtor may sell a monthly in a month what a part-time sells in a year. So a superior experience can be gained when it comes to a part-time employee, but for full-time employee, but only a lack of experience you will get when it comes to part-time employees, because you are not always on the field. You don't know what is actually happening. A part-time agent is never going to have some same experience as a full-time agent, because experience is gained by doing. So you do the same thing again and again. Now I think maybe I'm teaching business studies maybe 100 or 200 times the same content. So by doing the same thing again and again, we can make the things a bit faster and an easier way to understand. So selling a few homes a year does not give the experience needed. An interior toolbox and keeps it moving. You might see a part-time agent is probably not taking full advantage of tools offered by a broker, no investing in tools that make real estate transactions smooth and professional. They don't put their hands fully into the market. If you see these people, the full-time people, they will take their time and they will invest their time into the company, because the company gives them a good return of income for the time period they are giving to the company. Full-time realtors know how to keep a transaction flowing. They are the top on the details, know what needs to be done when, and often have assistants to help them as well. If you are a student who wanted to find a job to finish your studies, part-time is suitable. If you want a career upliftment, you need to become a full-time worker. There are advantages for part-time worker, there are advantages for full-time worker. For part-time, you can say that part-time workers can work a short period of time. They can still study, but a full-time worker should work for a long period of time. They can earn a high money. Part-time income earner can earn less money, but a full-time income earner gets a lot of money. A full-time income person gets a fringe benefit. He also gets not only fringe benefit, he also gets like cars, insurance free. But a part-time worker doesn't have that. And his job is confirmed. A part-time worker's job is not confirmed. But a full-time worker, a full-time worker is responsible more, but a part-time worker is not much responsible on the work but they are carrying. So then moving on to the next part, when you are being recruited in a company, there's few things you need to fill. That is the appointment letter. An appointment letter is an official document given to a qualified candidate who will soon be employed in an organization where he/she applied. Qualified candidate means a job applicant who has applied for the job in the organization and has qualified all the round of interviews and finally being selected by the management to offer a job with the organization. The appointment letter complies all the important terms and conditions of the employment. So you need to understand one particular thing. Appointment letter is where when you've been recruited by a company, the first letter which is given by the employer to employee, saying what are the duties you need to carry, what are the ways you need to carry the duties, and what actually he is performing in company. Everything is listed on the appointment letter based on the salary, on the date of work commencement to the date he should at least work has been already under appointment letter. So characteristics of appointment letter: the appointment letter is written by the employer. It is written in a business letter format, written on a company letterhead. It is an evidence that the particular candidate is selected for a position. The tone should be polite and positive so that the message is conveyed to the candidate in a proper manner. So then we move on to the next part. Some of the important facts consistent in an appointment letter are stated below. Title of the position, name of the employee and the employee, effective date of appointment, job conditions, salary scale, probationary period, number of working hours and days, benefits, disciplinary procedures, rights and privileges of the employee's leaves, EPF and ETF, termination of the service, ways to forward grievances, confirmation and promotion, signature of the employee and employer. So these are very straightforward. These are basic things which will be there in an employment letter. But what I need you to remind is the probationary period. What is probationary period? The number of months an employee should work in a company is known as probationary period. The employee Probationary, a probationary period means you need to understand it's a time period which has been taken by the organization to understand is the employee good enough to work in the company or not. So every employee should work at least 6 months to confirm that he's better for the job opportunity. So working in a company, give me a second, guys, Asan. I have given you an understanding. So disciplinary procedures and all, we will be going ahead one by one now. So let's start. What's the probationary period? New employee subject to 90-day trial period. Trial period is intended to provide both parties with an opportunity to see if a relationship is a good fit. Employee has opportunity to demonstrate his her attribute skills. Introductory stage, employees become familiar with company policies, procedures, standard. So when an employee wants to show his performance that he's better in doing something, he will prove it on the probationary period. If he's so good in doing that particular thing, then of course employee will get a lot of support from the organization. So an employee should be so qualified in providing the work within 90 days or 6 months, within 180 days. In Sri Lanka, most of the time it is 180 days. If you need to be a permanent employee in the company, then of course what's the difference between a permanent employee and a temporary? Under probationary period. In probationary period, you don't do the work, you can be fired any minute, any time. But if you are a permanent employee, if they want to fire you, you have worked more than 1 year or more than 6 months, they should inform at least 1 month prior notice. So 1 month you have time period to find another job. So that's some sort of job security which we say. If you have worked more than 5 years, you should be at least given 2 months of prior notice when you've been fired. So this gives some sort of understand that we can find another job within that particular 60 days. Then we have the next part, training was development, a very important area where students find it difficult. And I want to make it easy, guys. I don't want to make it difficult. What is training was development? Training is something which you uplift the employees in a short term, but development is something which you produce on the employees in long term. Both both is a part of training. Both are training, but these two trainings are different as per the way you are thinking, because these trainings are actually completely different the way you are thinking. Because if you have been given to do a system and you've been trained to do the system, we said as training. But development is something else. You should be trained to sit into a particular position. So it's like a managerial position. So you should be developed a lot of skills to be a leader. Then it becomes a development. Training focuses on the role, development focuses on the person. So one particular person will be given certain individual tasks to develop, but training focus on the role means it is like commonly they will teach. Training aims at specific job of role requirements. So how to make the role going on will be discussed on the training. But development is more conceptual and focus on overall progression of the individuals. Like the entire team, how can we build their characters? How can we ensure that they speak in a proper manner to the customers? So their attitude, their skills, everything they are going to build it with the experience. Training resolves around immediate or the present needs. So what they teach them small tips to work in the company. But here they are developing activities are futuristic. So they develop for a long-term goal. This entire team is going to be entire managers in different countries. So if you are going to make them in different countries, how good you need to train them? Then we have the next part. Training programs are group focused where more than one individual participates in organized group events such as workshops, classes, seminars, etc. Whereas development activities tends to be more of a personalized experience which is catered based on the individual's development plan. So training and development is having a complete differences, because training is focused on one particular person. I mean, not one particular person, a group of people, and they are trying to give some sort of knowledge to the entire team. But the development is something else. What is development? It is giving a knowledge about one particular person to one particular person, and it's a personalized experience to improve that person's knowledge. The organization takes the responsibility of training. Development is a self-assessment procedure where individuals are held responsible for creating and owning the development plan and activities. Like studying an MBA or making a master's to become a good position in the company can also become one development, because it's a big risk of investment which we need to make in order to be a part of this. Then we have okay. So the types of training. So guys, see him on Zoom a bit, guys. So these are types of training methods you can carry in an organization. A lot of training methods. I have not given you 3 methods here actually. This is an induction, off the job training, on the job training. So explaining this induction, of the job training, on the job training, I think I have given here. The first one, public training they can give. Second, virtual training, in-house training, on-the-job training. What is this on-the-job training? On-the-job training means you see your senior colleague. By seeing your senior colleague, you learn how to do things. It's a part of on-the-job training. You go to your company, sit with the senior employee. The senior employee teaches the procedures and processes how it works. So you learn about the entire thing. It's we said as on-the-job training. Off-the-job training is where you go outside the company to learn entire thing to improve your skills. You go outside the company. It is off the job training. So now here on the job training is a good thing because actually you are working in the company and also improving the company's productivity. But the bad thing of on the job training, you will learn the bad habits of the senior employee. But the good thing in off the job training, you will go outside and you will bring some knowledge to the company. But the bad thing in off the job training, you might miss the work and the productivity of the company can go down if you are a very important employee of the organization. So if employees are relying on you, if you're not there when you're going on to a big tour on learning the procedure, people will miss. Even the organization can fall down sometimes if you're not there on if you go on training. And if this on the job training, off the job training, what is the training, the company should take the responsibility of paying the amount. So off the job training is good because it's bringing expertise knowledge to the company, but the cost of the company is always high. You might see here online training, consulting, roundtable explanation, role playing, case study, workshop, conference, e-learning, mentoring, in-basket training, orientation, brainstorming, demonstration, internship, job rotation. You send the employee from different areas to different management games, interviewing, exercise, group discussion, learning by doing. So they have a lot of trainings. But you need to remember these three type of trainings: on the job training, off the job training, and induction training. Then we have there are induction training means when you are introduced into the company, you will be taken into the entire process and they will be teaching you the entire process, how it works, whom you should speak, where you should speak, whom you can ask the help. So giving you an idea of how the entire thing actually works will be discussed under on the job training. Give me a second. We'll move on next part. So changes in positions of the employees are known as employee movements. In a company, the employee can be moved in different ways. One, either he can go for promotion, upper level, transfers from one department to another department. Maybe he might not be suitable to this department, or he's suitable move for another department. So dismissal, like if the employee doesn't follow the rules and regulations, he'll be dismissed. At that point, when he is breaking the rules and regulations of the company, termination. If you feel that employee is not suitable or carrying out the activities on the proper manner as you as you have expected, you can terminate. But remember, guys, there's one more thing you need to know: redundancy. Redundancy means, let me explain you the term redundancy. Redundancy means actually, if the company doesn't have money to pay the employees, the company is going to go shut down. They will say, we don't have money to pay you, so we are going to close the company, but we will pay you salary. Don't worry for 2 months. So you find another job until that. So informing that the company is going through a loss and sorting out is about a redundancy. But promotion, transfers, dismissal, termination is completely a different game. Dismissal is where when a disciplinary action is taken on an employee because he's not behaving in the proper manner. Termination is where he's been fired from the company because he doesn't follow the basic procedures and policies of an organization. And then you need to know few more terms of HR under HR management. Here you have employee. So here employee turnover rate I have given you. How do you calculate employee turnover rate? Employees who left divided by average number of employees into 100 will give you employees turnover rate. What is absenteeism? So when you are speaking about absenteeism, employees absenteeism, you need to know how many employees who are not coming to work is represented under absenteeism. So failure of employees to report for work when they are scheduled to work. Absenteeism is the term generally used to refer to scheduled employees absences from the workplace. So when the employees doesn't come to the work, this employee should be fired, like fired or even a warning if he doesn't come to the work without informing. So without proper information, to the management, they take a lot of leaves from the organization. Then we have a few more things to know. We said as employee grievances. I think employee grievances should come down. I thought. So let's see what is an employee grievance. You see this employee is very sad. So he's very, very sad. So he needs some sort of employee grievances. What are type of employee grievances? Employee grievances means the problems an employee is going through from his mind, and he will never share it unless there's a circumstance. So the management should understand what is the problem this employee is actually facing. You must see what is the grievance. Let me zoom a bit. Concerns, problems or complaints that employees raise with their employers. So if there's any problem, they speak to the employers. Hey, employer, I am going through this type of problems. Okay, are you sad? Okay, no problem. We can sort it out. So what type of problems an employee can go through? You must say these are the ways. Cause of grievances. Grievances resulting from working conditions. Because of the working environment, you are getting some sort of problem. Improper matching of the work with the job. You might be recruited for some job, but you have been given another job. That's something else. Changes in schedules or procedures. So your schedules and procedures are actually changing. And then we have non-availability of proper tools, machines, and equipment for doing the job. So normally, non-availability of proper tools means what, guys? You are actually changing. Yeah. So if you are being recruited and you don't have the enough materials to work, and you will be getting upset. Unreasonably highly production standard, the standards are very high and you can't produce as per the standard. Poor working conditions, the environment is not suitable for you to work, because you feel like flies are there, mosquitoes are there. When you're working in the office, you see mosquitoes, one mosquito, two mosquito, three mosquito. You can't do that work, because when you are typing one mosquito there, and then you type here, then there's a screen, you hit the screen goes wrong. It can't happen in a company. So it's one of the worst way of companies. Bad employer relationship also will become a problem. Grievance resulting from management policy. He might be also upset from the management policies without directly. Wages payment, salaries they are not paying on time, or maybe paying later, or paying less. Leave they are not doing properly. Overtime they are not getting paid. Seniority and promotions are not provide properly. Transfer are not made from the department. Disciplinary action taken for no reasons. Lack of employee development plan. They don't improve the training. Lack of load clarity. Not saying what type of work you need to carry out in the organization is also part of problem. Handling employee grievances. What are the ways you can handle the problem? There are 4 approaches of handling employee grievances. You can speak. Open door policy says that you can speak with the employee, and understand what type of problems we can sort it out. And our periodic employee meetings, always having a meeting and asking what's the problem you're going through. Legal compliances, like are you following the rules and regulation? Is legal compliance is making you a bit upset? Is the salary what we pay is not enough? Grievances procedures, like if the employee is in problem, what are the ways the company can handle? And they have these procedures like suggestion box. Every time you get upset, you can come and speak about that. So that will be only directed to the management, not the managers, not the lower level managers having an identification. Then we have in an organization, you need to have health and safety management. What is health and safety management? Having a good environment for the employees to work is a health and safety management. So by having a good environment for employees to work, what is a good thing for employees? For businesses, it will improve the reputation of the organization, reduce the level of accidents, increase the level of productivity, reduce the level of cost, and improve resolution. The trust can be made. Legal compliances, following the rules and regulation also can be made. So government will not be a problem when it comes to when it comes to regulating in a nation. As this is a division, guys, I'm not doing like theory explaining one and everything, but still I'm touching almost 95% of your syllabus area. Maybe 5% may be missed, which I feel it is a bit inappropriate for exams. You might see here one particular thing of strikes. What are the ways the company can go through industrial actions? So now, what is industrial disputes actually? When there's a relationship between the employee and employee, and this relationship doesn't go properly in a proper manner, then of course there will be some sort of problems. These problems between the employer and employee is known as the industrial dispute. So industrial dispute says that to sort out the problem between them, they need to come to an agreement. So the agreement they make to come out of the problem with the help of trade union is known as collective agreement. Now, for example, let me draw it in this way. I'll move on to my whiteboard. So if I take, okay, companies here and employees in this side. So I'm going to take employees this side. So companies here An employee is this side. Employee and company has problems. That is where the relationship between employer and employee is known as industrial relation. The moment it becomes a problem, it becomes an industrial dispute. So now company and employer has a relationship. What is the relationship, guys? Industrial relationship. Now when they have problems, we say as what? Industrial dispute. Now when there's a problem called industrial dispute, where do they go and address? Now an employee will when there's an industrial dispute, for example, if you are having a problem, employee has a problem, employee will address to an organization called trade union. So this organization will have any problems comes in future, they will come on behalf of the employee and they will speak. So certain trade unions are there in our country. For labor, we will go for labor tribunal. So trade union. So to become a part of the trade union, employee should pay something. That payment is known as membership fees. So employees should pay membership fees for trade union, because these lawyers, educated people will speak for you on behalf of you when there's a problem. So this trade union, what they will do, if there's a problem and it is not sorted, they will go on to the company and they will try out to bring a solution. So that solution of bringing from the company to trade union is known as collective agreement. What do you say? Collective agreement. So when they cannot bring this problem, when they can't sort out the problem, then they can't come to a conclusion on collective agreement, then the problem will go a bit serious. Then only industrial disputes will start to take place, where they will be starting to agitate and fight, and they will go through certain strikes. So these certain strikes are given on your paper. So you don't want to know everything. Just remember, Gero is not in our country, so you don't want to remember that. But what you need to remember is like stay away strike, pen down strike are not available. So picketing and boycott. So picketing is like you don't produce the product, you don't completely produce the product in a company is a part of picketing and boycott. It's go slow, work to rule. What is go slow? When a manager says something, you work so slowly, you doesn't even care about it. For example, if your manager says, "Hey, can you do this work?" You are like, "Yes, sir, I will do." So if you say like that, the manager will get pissed off because you are going on a strike. And then work to rule is like you will work on time, you will go out of the company out of time. So these things are the things you need to have a knowledge. Other than that, I won't say. So remember picketing, remember remember go slow, and remember picketing and boycott, go slow, and general strike, normal strike, they might go. Sabotage is another type of strike I want to speak. It's like removing the main part of the machine and showing like you don't know. Actually, it's another type of strike. You remove the main important part of the machine and you just say no, the production is not happening because you don't know what actually happened. So you steal or you just wait without like nothing happened. So that's another way of strike. Then we have trade union can actually be effective in different purposes. Let's see what are the purposes they can be important. We have trade union development effective principles. So why trade union is important? These are the reasons. Let me explain you one by one. Democratic ownership, everyone can speak. If you have anything, you can discuss. It's a partnership. If you have any problems, you can speak to them. They will come for you. Transparency, you should always be informative. You can be accountable. What is accountability? Like whatever the problems has gone through, you can inform them. Then they have coherence. They will take immediate action. Inclusiveness and equality. They always speaks about equality. Salaries should be given for everyone, and sustainability. They always will be sustainable. It is almost in every country, but Pakistan actually banned this trade union development because many people even go against hitting the governments by going towards trade union. So you should not go against the government. So if so, the country will actually stop this type of trade unions in the market. So then we move on to the last part of the topic, which is collective agreement. So how do they sort out the problem in a country? They will have union certification means that representatives need to select, negotiate collective agreement. Collective agreement contract which sets out the terms and conditions of employment between employer and employee. So if you are going to sort out the question, problems, the trade union will involve to bargain behalf of the employee with the employer. When they bargain, they go prepare, they speak to them, they discuss the problems with them, then finally they propose to the employer. So then employer sees the proposal, and if it is agreeing, he will say, okay, bargaining, what is good for the employee, and finally they will agree, and that's how